All right. Yes, guys, we're preparing some videos also on the Zoom just to have the opportunity to watch them and edit them later and just to share with you in different way as we do on the Facebook. Hello, guys. Yeah. And
Hello, everybody. Very happy to be here and participate with you in our laboratory. We call it the magic of parenting. And
yes.
the parenting is the topic that is, for me at least, very, very important because I truly believe that we never cease to be the children. Um, for many people that believe in God, we are the children of God. We are the children of the universe. Then we are the children of the human beings we call parents, and then we are the children of our observer, our inner adult. So the question is, who are we? The child, the parent, or the adult? And that's what we're going to look into today.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter which like which age you are. Of course, we have this kind of opportunity to unlock our potential, and of course, the big question that raise up in front of like every like parent is like how to understand your kids, yeah, and choose the best direction for their development. Yeah, what's the best solution for them? Because as we parent, we really wish all the best of the best for our kids, but the real point is, do we really understand them, Svetlana?
Exactly. And what is the best? Do we understand ourselves? Because we are the children of the human beings we call mother and father. And mother and father had mother and father, and mother and father had mother and father, and so on. Seven generation at least we should know of what these people were about. And this is what forms our understanding what the best is. And then later on, we go to school and we have teachers and preachers and friends and extended family. And even with your husband, who's also coming from the constellation of mothers and fathers, you might have absolutely different look into what's the best. And so we always do our best. We never want to do our worst. But there is a saying that we are trying to do best and we end up with the worst possible result because we're always judging what we've done based on where we are. And so our program is to save you time and money for many cases in understanding what is the best for you and what is the best for your child and what is the best for your mother and father, what's the best for your husband and what is the best for your teacher and preacher, because all of that is different.
Yes.
Everybody has their own best, right?
Yes, yes, and everyone like has this uniqueness. Yeah, we all kind of so unique, and so to go like deeper in knowledge how to unlock our potential, we really need to know your date of birth because the date of birth gives us your profile, exactly your profile, how to communicate with you, and Sutsai really helps us just to get this kind of knowledge because everyone born like is born with some metrics. Yes, Svetlana?
Absolutely. And what's interesting, Sutsai is the Chinese knowledge. It's understanding somebody from the distance. And to be distant from yourself is absolutely impossible. And to be distant from your child is also a very hard task because we want to control this child. We want to know how they are, where they are, and what they need to do in every moment. And as we are controlling them, we are no longer living our life. We're living somebody else's life, and that's the life of the new being, of a new star that comes to Earth to shine on its own. And every one of us has a very clear matrix, like Vasily just explained. And that matrix is very simple. It's just the date of your birth. So from this metric that you get from the hospital or you get from the government organization, you are established in a society in a particular time and space. So there is nothing mystical about it. It's a very regular information. But how you interpret this information matters. So in Sutsai, we interpret this information in a way that is very practical and helpful. Why is it so practical and helpful? Because it's based on many thousands and thousands of studies and proven as a science. And because we can use something simple, we also want to share it with you. And what we want to share is the strong and weak trends that you and your child have, so you can communicate better.
Yeah. And you really need to understand that from the day one, until the age of 7, kids is under like mom's energy. Yeah, from the age of 7 to up to the age of 14, kids, they are under like both parents' energies. That's why you, as parents, we really need to understand this kind of communication skill is very important. Not only between like mother and father, but also with our kids, because this is very important to pay attention for the first 14 years, because the first 14 years gives us opportunity to build great foundation for our kids, where later they can stand up and realize themselves in our, let's say, adult life. But we all like still the kids, it doesn't matter how old you are. And of course, like growing up, as a parents, we really want to help kids to go through their like professional way. And also we're talking about where the best university. Is it like the best one, the best of the best for my kid, or maybe college is enough? And really, Sutsai helps us just to understand and find this kind of best way. Yes?
Yeah, and Vasily is the father of the grown-up children. So for him, the college is one of the major concerns because, of course, we go through college for 4 or 5 years and thousands of dollars. And after that, you might find out that the college you've completed have nothing to do with your desire for profession. And by the way, this information about college and about what you can do in life is extremely important because your energy changes with age and your interests change. And we will talk about it when and why and how. But I've met a lot of people who have been doctors, lawyers by profession because it pays well, but they would never use their education to actually be a professional lawyer or professional doctor or professional teacher. And that is why we as parents need to understand that everyone in the family is different. And even if you look at the day of your birth and then the summary of this birth, you will see the different number. Why do we use the number? Because many people ask me, why would we trust the numbers? Because it's just easier to operate truthfully. If we will start giving you the names, and we use the names interchangeably because one name we can use for the way the child thinks, how his consciousness operates, and the other name we could use for how this child acts. For example, we can say, this child is very creative, he likes to be innovative, and he will rebel against everything. So we can call him rebel, or we can call him innovator. But those different things are parts of the same child. So it's extremely important to understand your child portfolio. And that's what we are offering. We are offering a program, a parenting program that is based not on the general information that we all read in media and books of how in general the children are, but how your child is, what is unique about your child, and how his uniqueness dominates your uniqueness. So you get upset and you dominate his uniqueness forever. So he loses that ability to be the rebel. And when he's 14, the rebel comes back. Yay, I'm going to get my way.
Yeah, of course, because I mean, we are all different, yeah? And even we're different from the point of view, the type of thinking. And in Sutsai, we have like 9 different types of thinking. And for example, we'll be going like more in details for our future broadcasting, but let's just describe them right now, like in general, what it is, yeah? For those who was born on the 1st, like on the 10th, 19th, or 28th, this is like strategic thinking. Yes, these people, they think strategically how to act, how to perform, like how to perform. Yeah. For those who was born on the 2nd, 11th, 20th, and 29th, this is people, they have like empathic thinking. This is already like difference between the first group and the second group. Yeah. For the group number 3, for those who was born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th, these guys, they have like analytical thinking. Yeah. For those who was born on the 4th, 13th, 22nd, 31st, these guys, they have creative thinking, innovative thinking, I would say, something just to innovate. Yeah. For those who was born on the 5th, 14th, 23rd, these guys, they have logical thinking. For those who was born on the 6th, 15th, 24th, they have creative thinking. For those who was born on the 7th, 16th, or 25th, as we born together with Svetlana, we're in the group 7th, we have intuitive thinking. And for those who was born on 8th, 17th, 26th, it's practical thinking. And for those who was born on 9th, 18th, or 27th, these guys, they have like tactical thinking. 9 different groups. And and when you have like 2-3 kids in your family, and they're all different date of birth, different groups, I would say, this is like 3, 4, 5 types of thinking. Plus you as a parent, this is like 5, 7, 9 type of thinking. And you have to communicate. And this it comes very interesting when you really go deep in the knowledge. And of course you can spend like time like going through some research, but Svetlana, as a like professional in education, because Svetlana, I remember you were running like the school for 20 years, yeah?
Yeah, I thought that I am a teacher because my
Uh-huh.
mom became an engineer, but she always wanted to teach, and she put me up to this. I was actually always around children, but even when I was 6, 7, 8, I gathered the children. I always fed them. I would always bring some bread and some deal and some salt, and we would sit in a card box, and I would make a school because mom was always talking about it. And so when I was 11, I was in charge of the, I think, 6, 7-year-olds. And then I went through the school, through the college. All of it was in pedagogical direction. And I completed one education, one pedagogical institute in Russia. And then I came to America and I did another 3 years of master of education here. But this time I already felt the shift that is happening, by the way. Around 33, we have a shift, and all that we desired before moves in a different direction. And at that point, I felt I need more education, and I felt that I need to be a psychologist. I need to understand more. Because this energy of being a teacher and telling everybody what to do changed to the understanding that I cannot tell everybody what to do because people are different. And so when I went to the second level of education, here I chosen psychology of the leadership. Why? Because later on, I understood that not only my thinking is innovative, and I always created something different, a lot of schematics for children to follow, and then for the teachers, because I became a director of the school, and then I have my own business for 20 years in America, was a big school and 3 locations. I wrote a few books about how to understand yourself, how to understand your child, and the stories for the children, Vedic stories for the children. You can find them on Amazon. Because I was always looking into how you can give information in a way that different children or different parents can make it their own. And what I understood, that we all have our own fears based on who we are. We have our own actions based on who we are. And we have our own communication style based on who we are. Most importantly, we all have our own strategy. And so when those strategies collide, imagine you're cooking a soup, you're a mom or a dad, and you're cooking a soup and you put ingredients that do not match. And the taste is different and the look is different. And at the end, that soup smells very strange and you don't want to taste it. So in America, we call ourselves the melting pot. We have many different people from many different cultures, traditions, religions, and on top of it, so many different personalities. And so to adapt, to find my way in this society, for example, just like Vasily was living in Canada for many, many years. And
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, also finding your way within the language, within the culture, you need to understand that language and culture, right? So this is common, this is general, right? If you are in America, you know approximately what to expect. If you are in Ukraine, you know what to expect. You're in Moldova, you know what to expect. But what to expect from the child born from the universe, the fallen star, what
Yeah.
to expect? This knowledge is not available, but it is available. That's what we're offering. We're offering you to understand what is specifically unique about your child and how to communicate so the child can hear you, right?
Yes.
How many times you have that situation when you say and your children go mm-hmm, and do the other thing?
Most of the time, because we don't talk to like the same level, yeah, of understanding. That's why Shutsai gives us these kind of tools to communicate in the right way. And of course, when it comes to the question where to go to study to get the profession, this is the most important part right now. Because when you go to the wrong direction, of course, you can earn some money, yeah, you can earn some like something, but inside you won't be so happy. And why? Because your best realization goes always when you understand your energies, the flow of your energies inside of your consciousness. That's why in Sutsai we have a like diagram where I can sit and talk with you guys and to really help you to understand the type of your thinking, your kids thinking, and of course where the best direction to go. And of course, sometimes, most of the time, we're going to study where's like more like where's the trend, yeah, where my friends go like to study. But to really understand yourself, this is our task, yeah. I mean, on the professional level, and we do it like very professionally with Svetlana. And if you have any questions, so you can text us any time, like privately, or leave the comments here. And later in our next broadcasting, we'll be talking about like more in details. Yeah. Today we're talking about how we can understand our kids better and to show them direction, the right direction. Yeah.
Absolutely. Why is it so important as well? Like Vasily said, when the child is young, the energy of the mother is very important. Then after 7 years, the action of the father, if they're in conflict with mother's thinking, or conversations get loud and strong, the child forms within his psyche, within his body, a certain type of conflict. And that becomes a living, breathing medium for him. So later on in life, children will look for the same type of environment because it becomes familiar. It becomes something I know how to deal with. And also, if we are in conflict, we teach a child to take a side. So when the child takes a side, he does not have his own say anymore. So it's extremely important for psychosomatic well-being, because at the end, we want the best for the child. First and foremost, the foundation, the health, mental, emotional health, brings the a possibility to get the information, to be able to analyze the information and form a decision for specific for this person, because the children are not our extension. It's the little people, but they're actually big souls. And so the decision that the soul makes needs to be the heart-based decision connected to the mind. So with open heart and open mind, we help them to make decisions. And when they have pressure from the parents, the leadership within themselves, to be the leader of their life, the first competency in society, or to be able to work with other people without losing your own boundaries, without losing your own desires, not to start living somebody else's life, competency number 2, for example, or to be able to analyze what's going on from your position, from your uniqueness, not necessarily according to what other people told you, is the next competency, and so on. Or, for example, to start anything in life, you need to look for the value of your life. This is the most important safety rule, which people don't do. People look for how important the job is, how much money it pays, how other children are stronger, smarter, faster, what are the brand names they wear, and all of that is the information that bombards us from outside. But
Yes.
inside, the information from inside is information from your birth. And when you have that information, there is something to base, to put your feet on a solid ground of who you are. And so the rest of it is the choice. What happens to us, the rest of it is the foundation, and we have very little choice or no choice. When you have one or two options, those are not choices. Those are options that are pressured from outside. And so to be successful in life, you need to build a self-esteem. What is self-esteem? It's a steam, yeah, that move the in ancient times we have those ships, steamboats, right? It's the steam that moves you forward, but it comes from self. And self for our society is the bad word. Like you're no egoist. Ego is no. You should live somebody else's life. You should help somebody else. So if I do something you want, I'm okay. But if I do what I want, I'm not okay. It's not a good idea for me to do what I want. And so society gives you the matrix decode. We're taking the ancient knowledge that the planetary knowledge, for example, how the planets radiate its specific electricity that affects our body electricity. We take our knowledge and look into it from the modern lenses because all of it is proven. We know that body isolates and there is an electricity that's not something mystical about it. It could be measured, just like big, huge telescopes are showing us what's going on out there. Medical equipment shows what's going in there. And those two are the same, as above, so below. It's written in every ancient text. And what we want to do is to show that in a very practical way, right? For example, we have a calendar. Would you talk about the calendar?
Yeah. But before jump to the calendar, I really want to tell about one situation that I had a couple days ago. One of the mom like jump on the my stream on TikTok. Every day I'm like have this kind of broadcasting on TikTok in Russian, and she asked me, Vasily, my son after 1 year and a half really wants to drop from university, and I asked for date of birth, and his date in Suica it's 4/6, and mom she's 2/5. Yeah, number two, empathic thinking. Number four, it's innovative thinking. It's creativity, something like different. She found the best university in Europe for diplomacy. Yeah, to be as a diplomat, and she put her like son to this university. She paid a lot of money, but she didn't realize that she had to go to this kind of university because she's number two. Number four is not for diplomacy. And when I showed to her, she was like so impressed. I told her, this is reality. This is not illusion. In your illusion, you really want to be as a diplomat and you really want your son to be as a diplomat. And really, really powerful topic, guys, about professional realization, because 2/3 or maybe all our life really like going to this direction. And of course, as Svetlana mentioned, calendar, this is a great tool. Calendar can help us to develop all the competences that are missing because we are born with some limits. Yeah, none of us has like 9 energies. That's why it's very important if you really want to go as high as possible in your professional realization, in your relationship, building with relationship with your family. You have to really understand where you are regarding the calendar, because we have like our personal years, we have personal month and personal days, and other members of your family, they have like all different numbers. And you have to communicate, you have to find the right solution. That's why calendars help us to understand yourself, and really can understand other people that surrounding you, maybe your colleagues, maybe your business partners, but mostly in your family. That's why when we have this calendar, and by the way, you can order this calendar. Svetlana, she has like calendar in Russian and in English. And if you really want to purchase some English calendar, you're welcome, guys. Just leave the comments. But this is the simple but very important tool. Personally, I'm living right now through year 8. I can feel this kind of energy of practical stuff, working stuff. I really want to work hard. And last year it was number 7. This is like, of course, I was in the discipline because I knew that I had to be in the discipline. But if you live in your personal year 7, this is the year of chaos can be. This is the year of kind of not mystical stuff, but some transformation can come. And in Sutsai, we have this tool, and all our clients who really comes to the sessions, to the coaching stuff, they really starts working with this kind of calendar because they have this potential to bring extra energy to your to your like daily basis performance. And I really talk with emotions because I live with the calendar. All my family lives with the calendars, and this is the magic stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody who's listening to this also have the calendar that they live through. Because how can you plan your day, your vacation, your professional life without the calendar? The difference between a common calendar and the Sutsai calendar that we've produced is very simple. There is you in a calendar. In the common calendar, there is no you. It's for everybody, for the crowd. But you're not a crowd, you're an individual. And in your individual cycles of 9 days, 9 months, and 9 years, psychosomatic events are happening. You think differently on different days. You feel differently and you communicate differently. You have more energy on certain days, and some other days are for you to rest. Like, for example, on the day 6 of your cycle or in the month 6 of your cycle, you want to sleep. The client comes to me, one of my businessmen, and he says, I do not understand. Am I sick? What's going on? Because I usually also scan people in terms of what's going on in the physical level. And he's like, I was so good. And he became a speaker and he expanded. Last year was great. And this year is like, I no energy. And like, yeah, you need to sleep because in this year, the more you sleep, the more money you get. Do not push. But before telling him this, he was so upset and he was so critical about himself. And as soon as you criticize yourself, your energy drops even more, right?
Right.
And what's important, the most important part of it is that every day this energy is real, it's in your body. You're just not aware of it. But if you are aware, all of a sudden you understand how the other person feels. I am in year 4 and my husband is 4, which is innovative but extremely critical because he sees imperfection in everything. There is not one thing that is perfect. Vasily also knows about it because it's part of his innovative actions, right? But in order to make things better, you need to see how shitty they are. So this is what I live all my life with. And I was like, how much criticism is in you? You're such a great guy. You're so open. You're so kind. And all of a sudden you drop a word and you're like, and this year I'm just like him. Like, really, nothing is good enough. And in general, I'm a very happy person. I love everything. I love life and I love everything living, but not that this year. I love it from the perspective, and let me change it. And so you will understand the way you feel on certain days is how some people feel their whole life, and you could never connect with them because of this.
Yes.
In order for your child to feel like a fish in the water in this world, at least you have to give them an understanding who you are. Because that is the quest, right? Everybody's looking for who am I, where I'm coming from, what's my purpose? You come from the universe, you fall into somebody's family as a gift. That family looks at the gift, opens up and says, this, I didn't expect that. It should be much better. And that's what happens. And then the child is trying to be better for the parents. Parents wants to give them the best. He wants to be the best. And then the conflict arises. And then we go to consultation to psychologists. And psychologist sits there and says, yes. Sutsai is also digital psychology. It says, yes. But what are you going to do about it? And let me give you a very practical, very personal, very up to the day, according to your calendar, information that you can analyze and use in your relationship, in your strategy, in creating life safe, to have a material result you want, to have the energy up, to have the sorrow down, and to be happy every day of your life, no matter what kind of day, because you know what's going on. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, for example, today my private day is 5. Yeah, this is the day when I can build, and I have to build a communication skill. The day when I present myself, and today we have like broadcasting. And Maria from Facebook is asking, "Are you psychologists, guys?" As
No,
Svetlana just said,
I
we are
am
digital psychologists.
an educator. All my programs are educational. The science of suicide is called the science of digital psychology. It's not my science. It actually created. The founder of this science is Zhanat Kozhemzharov. He teaches in Russian, not in English, and he's from Kazakhstan, so Kazakh and Russian. But this knowledge, this science is approved by Berne Convention in 181 countries. And there are documentations and certificates that we have and diplomas that we have besides the American diplomas, and Vasily has his diplomas. Besides these diplomas, we have also diplomas from Suicide Training Institute. But right now, we are sharing not a psychology, but an approach to psyche. Psychology and psy, this is the letter and the word that means soul. Psycho is the soul in crisis. So I am a crisis manager. This is how I call myself. I'm a crisis manager and I'm a strategist for life and business. So in terms of logic, psychology, it's the science of the soul. And the science of the soul is ancient. And with the modern tools of Suicide as a methodology, as a proven method with many, many cases, thousands and thousands of cases before it was approved in Harvard and Stanford educational system as a science. Before that, a lot of documentation was submitted to make sure that information is accurate. So we're using it among other studies and information and technologies that we know. It's not the only one, but we are professionals in our field. That's why we presenting Suicide is a digital psychology, because this is the name of the science that we also use. Vasily, would you like to comment?
Yes. No comments. No comments. Thank you so much, Svetlana, for your explanation. Yeah. All right, guys. Like, put your notifications, and of course, make sure you're asking questions, because you can get like the greatest results, whatever. I started my personal development in 2009. Yeah, at the age of 33, something like started here. But when I had this opportunity to study suicide, we stopped like looking for other type of education, because this really helps us to understand ourselves in the best way, because we have a unique approach. And when you guys comes to our sessions, coaching session, coaching programs, we work with you knowing your unique code, what you think, how you act, and why you're going to be fighting with other people and losing your energy, health, and as a final destination is material world. Yeah. Then leave a comments. You can text us. We are really open to share our knowledge. And next time we'll be talking about business, because first half of the week we're talking about parenting, developing yourself, leadership, all this kind of stuff. Second half of the week we're talking about business plus suicide.
And we consult in Russian language and in English language. We also produce materials in both languages, because there is also a parenting issue when the parents are immigrants and they speak one language, regardless what language it is, and the children speak other language. So to minimize the conflict and to optimize the family, to prevent the crisis from happening, and to give the knowledge that saves the souls, we're here for you. So reach out. We will be happy to work with you, and write your questions. We will be happy to answer.
Yes. All right. Ciao, ciao.